Hello, thank you for coming tonight. It's nice to see some familiar faces and some people that I've only known through the internet too. Yeah, it's weird being home. I've been away for so long. I was in Montreal. Sorry, they're just taking pictures. I was in Montreal, and then I was and now I'm in Vancouver, and getting my master's degree actually. So that's exciting. In creative writing, where I hope to write a novel. Yeah, I used to want to work here so badly. Like I tried so hard to work here as a teenager, and it just did not. I would have been a terrible employee, but I tried. Yeah, so I'm gonna read some poetry tonight. This first one is called "Love is Different from Endurance." Seizure of land. This settlement and abstraction. This river and I are both exhausted. This flood of the century. This flood of today. I know the prairie floods, if only to hold me. Oh shit. Sorry. If you see my messy nails, it's because I got a manicure today, and then I was too scared to go back and get it fixed after I ruined it in the bathroom. So I'm sorry. This next poem is called Brandi is also Alessio, and it's about LiveJournal, which was a user platform, like a blogging platform in the early 2000s. Yeah, Brandi is also Alessio. I change my user icon on LiveJournal and girls lose track of my digital face. I am nowhere. Know everything and nothing like the bald face of the moon. I invoke moon because I'm lazy and always have been. It's easy to want to feel celestial when you're looking up at the sky. If only pixelated girls could touch me, feel the curve of my lips. They are Winona Riders and I am nowhere. I invoke nowhere because girls live there. They don't exist in time or space, just float in light and change their faces a swoon on the internet. A girl anonymously accuses me of posting from 2 accounts. Brandi is also Alessio, she writes, and I feel honored to be mentioned at all. The internet makes me feel real and unreal. I invoke reality because shouldn't I have something to say about it? I have more to say about avoidance, the pith of experience in the real world. I peel the skin off around my nails and my apartment stinks of cat piss. I am 17 and 22 and 30. I am blue and bleached. I am light, or at least the absence of shadow in my bedroom. I am nowhere. Girls post about their mothers and fathers, post their bruised calves, post indie. They are post-human, and so am I. Profound in our collective, a hive of girls rub themselves raw in real life. Rug burn and then pictures of rug burn. I post a picture of myself crying and everything changes. I grow up. Where am I? Oh, and this poem that I'm going to read next is for my best friend. It's the first love poem I ever wrote. It's after and for the poet Selena Bowen, who has a wonderful book called Undoing Hours that I really recommend. I helped edit it, but also it's a beautiful collection. It's called It Is and It Is. In a dream, there is a field where time has no hands to hold our bodies. We crawl on grass, crystallized to our skin, entering new and old phases of matter. The fast and then dull ache of bones aging back and forth in our shared time glitter like clear lights over clear water. And I have no words to describe abundance beyond the absence of fear. In a dream is a dream where time is useless, rendered into a strip of masking tape, keeping flowers pressed in an old book, the words given new meaning under petals and the concept of preservation. Renewal is a beast we have braided in our hair twice just to get a feel for it. Small teeth and incisors keep falling out of our mouths, always replaced, old and new, to bite at any sight of an edge to this hour. This field is fenceless and upside down and deep with black soil, where we bury ash that smells like the future, ash that smells like the past. Is it medicine, the infinite, the circular, where we both make words out of the same damn world over and over again? I hope so, and I tell you that before we walk home. I tell you that before we are real again. And this is the last poem I'm going to read from the book. I'm going to read two new ones that are, one's edited, the other one isn't, but we'll deal with that later. This poem is called What Joy, and it's also sort of a love poem. I mean, you'll see. What joy. Name me a love name, a name with feathers picked from sidewalks and bound with twine. Create a body of hollows and let me fill them with glass beads and cigarettes. Name me my father and the story he orates when he's drunk on the balcony. Talk about wisdom, a noble bottle of brandy, etymology of family, Fonsine, Deleron, bird, and rat. Break all family names into pieces and watch them turn into stones I throw into Lake Winnipeg. Watch me turn to stone or a pillar of salt, other words for still, silent, other words for weathering the way we love. We are nothing if not forgiving. And my dad is sitting right in the front row here. Sorry to put you on the spot, but I write because of him. I dedicated the book to him. He's the guy, he's the first storyteller I ever had in my life, and I love him very much. And this is for him. I don't know what he said, but okay. I'm gonna read two more poems. They're new poems. The first one I'm gonna read was published in Hazlitt by Billy Ray Belcourt, which was very exciting for me. Just a warning for discussion of bulimia. It is graphic, I will say. So just take care of yourself. It's called Autobiography. And it was an interesting poem to write because I tried to write a poem without pronouns, and it was hard, but I did it. Autobiography. This is the beginning of what's certain. Fullness and inevitability. No way out of this pit where the sun shatters into shards tongued between teeth. Vomit the sun. Pluck the light, first with fingers and then with pain, impatient, a room where nausea and radiance hold hands and pray to a living God. Silence. All voices out of sync in ceremony. That's what people do when there are no doors and no windows, no roof, just a sky of awe or anger. Wrestle sign, healed over, red knuckles, ambiguity when hunger overtakes the day. To be sick in this way is to reject without recourse. Orbit around the sun every day in a body that is just a body. Partial paralysis, medication, motility, all memory leads here. The surface of a mirror slips and shines back a moment. Brown hair tied back, ossuary of birds, red-throated and rotting as dinner falls into a trash can lined with bags. No apology, sorry, no apology. A meal made out of finger bones, snapped at the joints, thinning out of control. Flesh of salt water, bile, and rays of sunlight thrust into the mouths of the devout. Worship when the dish is empty. Poetics begin where bulimia ends, where the differential diagnosis is confused by decades of self-made violence. The violence refracts light and crashes into other violences. Poverty, colonialism, God, all prisons that will shatter one day, if not now. Desire rejected will return home, will roost inside home, that bright thing, the curved beak that indicates eagle and not raven. Eat the flesh raw, don't waste a morsel. And this is the last poem I'm gonna read in the evening. It's a first draft that I wrote last week. I'm reading it because my love is here and I wrote it for them. This is the first actual love poem I've ever written. And it happened in a period of immense suffering in my family. And so it feels very important for me to read tonight. It's called Ode to Ghosting, the story of me and you. We are dendritic and our shyness a glitter, vast but empty. Sometimes we have no choice but to run right past our crowns, the ones of branches, the ones of meter, a devour, an appetite of me and you. I taste of iron and earth, and we learn the universe is moving farther and farther away from itself. I run towards you. My molecular decision to keep my hands in yours as ferns catch my jeans, cast them wet as you try to shake me off. We keep moving. I revolve around you in the wind, and sometimes I eclipse. I turn myself dark, as if I could become darker in this nerve cell, in this forest, in this universe. The only space I know is one that grows and dies and grows and dies again. The only tree, the one where I carved our initials into its bark with an old copper key when you weren't looking. All the sun can do is run farther and farther away from other suns. But we, an orbit of cast-offs, of rubble, of leaves, we where light shines, where the sun sets, we are still right here. Thank you.